Hi guys, welcome to this channel and thanks for viewing this video, and don't forget to like, to share, to comment and subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. Today I would like to talk about Java class string, and you might have noticed that in the previous videos I mostly talked about data types that are used to store numeric values or numbers, such as integer data types, floating point data types, and the rest. So in this video, it's now time to talk about data types that deal with alphanumeric characters. One of these data types is called the string data type. So what is the string data type? The string data type is used to store alphanumeric data values like people's names, ID numbers, names of countries, and so on and so forth. So these alphanumeric values are stored as sequences of characters. And we also have to note that sometimes the string value can be made up of a 0 character. So it can be a sequence of 0 or more characters. So meaning that a string value can store 0 character. So I will expand more on this concept just in a moment. So now let me talk about how to declare and initialize a string variable. So you declare a string variable just like any other variable, by using the data type, by writing the data type and then specifying the identifier or the name that you want to give to your variable. So here, since this is a string variable, so the data type is going to be string. And here the trick is we have to make sure that we write the word string starting with a capital letter to specify that this is actually the data type that we are writing. So because if we write with a lowercase s, it's not going to pick. So my variable, I will call it first name. And here you will see that I'm getting an error. So string cannot be resolved to a type. But if I put an uppercase s here, I do not get the error anymore. So this is how you declare it. It's just like I was declaring my integer here this way. So int number, so int here is a data type and number here is my variable. And how do I initialize? So to initialize a string, we have to, it's kind of different from the other data type. So when you initialize a string in a different way from the other types of variable. So how do you initialize? We initialize a string variable by enclosing the string value inside the double quotation marks. Like for example, here I'll say first name is going to be Mike Jr. Sorry, my bad, Mike Jr. here. So this is the first name, and you see I put Mike Jr. is the string value, and I put it inside the double quotation mark. So this is important because this is how you initialize the string variable. So the double quotation needs not to be confused with the single quotation as it's used when initializing the character data type. There's another data type that is called character data type. For example, if I'm just want to show you this one here, you see. So this one we use single quotation marks, okay? But that's not what we're talking about right now. We are talking about string characters. With the string characters, we have to use double quotations. you will see that if I change the double quotation and put the single quotation, now I'm getting an error because I need to put the double quotation because I'm initializing a string variable. So actually, for your compiler to be able to process or to allow you to manipulate your string variables effectively, it has to depend to a certain class that is called the class string. So the class string is a specific class that is provided by default by Java programming language. And that class is made up of various operations that are necessary to handle string variable effectively. So that's pretty much it about the class string. So, and also, as you can see, this value Mike Jr., this value inside the double quotation mark is sometimes called or referred to as, it's sometimes called different names. For example, you will meet people that will call it a string constant, so Mark Jr. inside here, the string value, people will call it a string constant. Sometimes other people will call it string literal or a character string, but most people will refer to it as a sequence of character or strings, simply put. So that's pretty much it. And also what I want to come back to is I will declare a string here. And as you can see on the screen, this particular string has no character. Okay, I've just put the double quotation, but no character inside. I'm not put a number, nor not even a letter inside. But I'm not getting an error because according to Java, this string is a valid string. So if you can recall, as I was saying, that a string can store sequences of characters, but sometimes a string can also store 0 characters. So this is a typical example of a string that is storing 0 character. I can even do a system that print line here, and they say name inside because that's the name of a variable, and run it. I will not get any error, but you will see that in the console down here, the value is empty. Okay, so these kinds of strings that hold 0 character, that has no character, are called null string or empty strings. Okay, so a string that has no character, that holds 0 character, is called a null string or an empty string. And one other thing that we need to remember when we are talking about strings is that every character in a string value, like Mike Jr. here, has a specific position in the string. So that means that M has a position, I has a position, K has a position, E, and every single character has a position in a string. So the first character, as you can see in the example on the screen here, my first character is M, will have a position of 0. Okay, naturally we have the tendency of thinking because it's the first character, so the position will be 1, but that's not how Java language sees it. So in terms of how the Java or the compiler sees it, the first character in a string value has a position of 0. So if the first character has a position of 0, that means that the second character will have a position of 1, and so on and so forth. And also, the length of a string is the number of characters in it. So this string value, its length, will be equal to the number of characters in it. So I will just show you how to get the length of a string value. You know, how to get it. We're going to use a certain method called the length method. And how do I get the length of my variable, of the string value stored in my variable first name? What I need to do, I will do a system out that print line, and I will write the name of my variable first name, that, and then I will write my method. So I will write length and open and close the brackets like this. And you will see that when I will run it, a number will appear here telling me the length of my variable. So here 11 means that my string value is having 11 characters. And if I count, you will see that I will get 11 characters. So Mike, M is one character, I is one character, K is one character, E is one character. And mind you, here, the space between Mike and Junior here is also considered to be one character. So that will be 5 characters. J is one character, that will be 6. U will be 7, N will be 8. I will be 9. O will be 10, and R will be 11. So that this is the 11 characters. So the length of my string value is 11. And because we are having 11 characters, if we take into account the space between the two strings here, the two names that I have written on the screen. So that's pretty much it. When determining the length of a string, you know, the machine will take into account any space, since the space, or when you type the space bar, each strike of a space bar is considered to be a character, you know, in a string. So that's pretty much it. And also the last thing to know, this is maybe a reminder, the class string or a string data type is a non-privative data type. That means that it's not a data type that is predefined, but it's a data type that is defined by the programmer. So to get more details about that, you can watch the video I made on data types when I spoke about the difference between primitive data types and non-primitive data types. So guys, this was it for class string, the Java class string. And I hope this video was informative, and thank you very much for viewing. And don't forget to like, to share, to comment, and to subscribe to this channel for more videos like this one. So thank you very much, and let's meet again in the next video. Bye.